All right, Sistas and Zatima fans, yet again we're visiting the list in their interview with Devale Ellis. This particular video, we're talking about kind of a couple things. What Devale said in terms of what fans should expect for his character when Sistas returns on June 29th, and whether or not he and Fatima will still be popping up in the Sistas series. So will Zach still be in Sistas despite the spinoff? Now, we know that during season 5 filming, there were pictures on set of Zach, Fatima, as well as Zatima characters. So folks, Zach and Fatima will be in season 5. And if you want to read this entire interview, which is pretty lengthy, I will leave a link in the comment section below. So let's talk about the first thing here. The interviewer asked the question, what can you tell us and tease about the current season of Sistas in reference to season 4B? Devale says, we come back June 29th. I'm excited about it because this is the season where a lot of characters have forks in the road, especially Zach's character, who I play alongside Fatima, played by Crystal Hazlett, and Karen, who's played by Ebony Obsidian. There's a lot that's happening this season that people aren't expecting. It's going to be a roller coaster of emotions. So from there, the question is raised, will Zach appear on Sistas less because of Zatima? Whew, okay, this is it. Now, oh, actually, they have another part of the article where the question is expanded. Tell us a little bit about what fans can expect in terms of your appearance capacity on Sistas, since you'll also be on your own show. Can they still expect to see you a lot? Yeah, they can still expect to see Zach a lot because his character, okay, this is the part where I feel people are going to be a bit touchy. They can still expect to see Zach a lot because his character is always going to be intertwined with Karen and Fatima. Karen is a mainstay on Sistas, so Zach's relationship with her is always going to be involved in that show. When you watch Zatima, it is extremely different because it's just me and Crystal. It's our relationship outside of the sister circle. Thank God. It's what Zach goes through with his family, because we know his brother's in the show, and what Fatima goes through with her friends and family, which I will be interested in seeing her family members in the show. We get to see what happens outside of the sister circle. Sistas is about that group of friends and how they deal with their boyfriends and fiancés in and out of those relationships. Even though I don't think any of them have officially been in full-on relationships in terms of the show's timeline. This is specifically about Zach and his family. It's like a different world when a different world spun off of the Cosby Show. It was Denise's character in college, not Denise at home. It's a completely different world, no pun intended. So that alone makes me excited in regards to what, Zatima is going to bring to the table. Now, I believe there is another part of the article that talks about Sistas characters popping up in Zatima, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in my video yesterday. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah. Can fans expect to see some crossovers or see crossovers a bunch between the two shows, or with people from Sistas or maybe even other Tyler Perry shows? Without giving up too much, you can expect to see pop-in visits from some of your favorite characters from both shows. Zatima going to Sistas and Sistas going to Zatima. It's going to be fun to see fans enjoying watching their characters also in a different light, since Zatima is not as much of a dramedy, but more of a comedy. Now, to me, it seems, and I don't want to crap on bruh because I love it, I think for me, Tyler is going to do for Zatima what he should have done with bruh, which is link the two shows just a bit more, in that, characters from both shows would flip-flop between the series. The only time we got this was the one-off appearance by Bellamy, and then Andy's multiple appearances in Bruh season 1. After that, season 2, we didn't hear a damn thing of any Sistas character at all. Mike was only mentioned in passing once at the beginning of Sistas season 2, and that was it. I feel like that would have built up more hype for Bruh. I'm still tripping on bruh not even having damn social media pages. Every other Tyler Perry show has a Twitter, an official Twitter and Instagram account, but not bruh. What the hell? But in any case, I think this is going to encourage fans even more to watch Zatima, due to the fact that you kind of need to watch both in order to get what's going on. And I also like what Devale said about it's going to be fun for fans to enjoy watching these characters that they know in a different light, since Zatima is more of a comedy than a dramedy. So I guess that means if, let's say, I'm just going to throw it out there, what if Preston pops up in Zatima? I feel like we're probably going to see him in a more comedic fashion than on Sisters, which I feel is a given, because anytime him and Devale are on screen together, it's nonstop comedy. And I feel like it goes without saying that, well, it depends on if Zach takes Jake's advice to move from a local branch bank to a, accountant firm or whatever, hedge fund firm like him and Gary run, in order to maintain his money better. So I want to figure that, or I want to think that perhaps if Zach goes to the bank in order to transfer funds and whatnot, and then Maurice is in there. So I feel like, Maurice and Devale or Zach will have a great scene together, because those two on screen together is funny as hell. So I really do feel like if you watch the Arrowverse, it's going to feel like back in the day when there were only like a couple of shows. Whenever Flash would go on the Arrow series, it felt like a fish out of water in a good way, because you would have these lighthearted characters in a serious, dark, gritty show, and then when you would have Arrow and his cast go from their show to the Flash, it felt kind of weird, because sometimes the super seriousness would feel like, I don't know, it would just stand out as opposed to the lighthearted series that is the Flash. But then there are times where obviously those characters would kind of blend. No, here's the best way to say it: the characters from Arrow will be more lighthearted when they're in the Flash as opposed to the original series, and then the cast of the Flash would be a little bit more serious in Arrow, but at the same time you could tell, like, yeah, they're come from a completely different show. So I feel like it's going to be like on the basketball court. Remember when I said the first time we saw the guys playing basketball, it felt interesting to see them interact, because they aren't confined to the drama of that the women bring to their lives. Because it's like, wow, it's like a breath of fresh air to see these characters interact like this, because the women ain't there bringing them down. The only drama was really when Zach tried to start some mess with Aaron, but that's neither here nor there. So regardless, yeah, Zach will be in Sisters still, and in Zatima, I feel like it's going to remind me of season 1 of Bel Air, where you're watching it to see if there is any cameos from the original Fresh Prince series, and there were. But I think that as Zatima goes on into season 2, maybe even season 3, we're going to see more Sisters cameos. And it's not that the cameos make the show, it's the fact that if these Sisters characters come into Zatima and they actually add to the story, I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong, though. I'm going to be looking for cameos like left and right, like Easter eggs. But at the same time, I feel like Tyler isn't going to oversaturate the series, due to the fact that, like Devale said, this is Zach and Fatima's story. A little Sisters sprinkled in there, but it's not the main ingredient. So, with that being said, thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Hit subscribe and hit the bell icon to select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel.